All right, history hunters, buckle up because we're diving deep into a story of ancient ties, hidden agendas, and a relationship between India and Turkey that's far more tangled than it appears on the surface. Forget the polite smiles and diplomatic handshakes. We're uncovering the 10 explosive truths they don't want you to know. Hey everyone, welcome back to the History Hunt. Today we're venturing into a fascinating yet often unspoken chapter of international relations, the complex and, at times, contentious bond between India and Turkey. You might see them as two nations with rich histories, but beneath the surface lies a tale of forgotten connections, simmering resentments, and strategic power plays. Get ready to have your perceptions challenged as we explore the 10 explosive truths about the India-Turkey relationship. Imagine this: the Grand Mughal Empire, with its majestic forts and intricate art, wasn't born in a vacuum. Its very foundations have threads leading back to the Turkic lands of Central Asia. Think about Babur, the founder of this incredible dynasty. His bloodline wasn't purely Mongol, it intertwined with that of Timur, a powerful Turkic conqueror, and even stretched back to the legendary Genghis Khan. Now here's where it gets interesting. This shared Turkic heritage created a sort of unspoken, almost nostalgic connection in Turkey towards the Mughals. It's like a distant family tie. But this historical fondness didn't automatically translate into warmth for modern India. It's a peculiar twist, isn't it? A soft corner for a long-gone empire, but a more complicated stance towards the India of today. Fast forward a few centuries. World War I has ended, and the mighty Ottoman Empire is crumbling. At this critical juncture, a significant movement arose in India, the Caliphate movement. Indian Muslims rallied in support of the Ottoman Caliph, who was seen as the spiritual leader of the Islamic world. It was a powerful display of solidarity. But then, India gained its independence and chose the path of secularism. It consciously decided not to align itself with any religious leadership, including the institution of the Caliphate, which Turkey itself eventually abolished. This decision, though crucial for India's own identity, was perceived by some in Turkey as a betrayal of the earlier support. Imagine the quiet resentment brewing beneath the surface, a historical wound that never fully healed. Now let's step into the present. Picture this: Turkey, a nation straddling Europe and Asia, with a vibrant Islamic heritage. Underneath the diplomatic niceties, there's a strong ambition, a desire to be the leading voice for the global Muslim community. Think of it as a silent rivalry with Saudi Arabia, the traditional center of Islamic power. Supporting Pakistan, a Muslim-majority nation, over India, which has a large but secular population, becomes a strategic move in this grand ambition. By championing Pakistan's causes, particularly Kashmir, Turkey positions itself as a defender of Muslim interests worldwide. It's a calculated step on the chessboard of international Islamic politics. So, why this unwavering support for Pakistan, even when the evidence points to Pakistan's involvement in terrorism? The answer lies in a potent cocktail of religion and geopolitics. For Turkey, the Kashmir issue isn't just a territorial dispute. It's framed as a matter of Muslim rights. By consistently backing Pakistan at international forums like the UN and the OIC Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Turkey aims to solidify its image as a protector of Muslims globally. It's a strategic alignment where religious solidarity and geopolitical maneuvering go hand in hand, sometimes seemingly ignoring the complexities and realities on the ground. Here's where the story takes a darker turn. Imagine whispers in the corridors of intelligence agencies, reports suggesting a hidden hand fueling anti-India sentiment in Europe. Leaked information points towards Turkish NGOs and groups allegedly funding protests in the UK, Germany, and even Canada. These campaigns often masquerade as Kashmir awareness initiatives, but the underlying agenda, according to these reports, is to tarnish India's image on the international stage. It's a covert operation, a subtle yet potentially damaging way to exert influence and further Turkey's geopolitical goals. Let's talk about the man at the helm, President Erdogan. His stance on India, particularly regarding Kashmir, has been anything but neutral. He has openly echoed Pakistan's narrative, even going as far as to label India an oppressor at the United Nations. Think about his ambition, Some analysts believe Erdogan harbors a vision of a neo-Ottoman empire, a resurgence of Turkish influence in the Muslim world. In this grand vision, Kashmir becomes a strategic pawn, a tool to garner international attention and project himself as a leader championing Muslim causes. India's boycott of Turkey intensified after Erdogan's 2019 UN speech on Kashmir, which felt like a deep interference in India's internal affairs. However, the sentiment goes deeper. Fueled by Turkey's perceived alignment with Pakistan, a nation India holds responsible for cross-border terrorism. Imagine the anguish after attacks like the one in Pahalgam, a stark reminder of the violence India faces. When Turkey seemingly overlooks this suffering and instead amplifies Pakistan's narrative on Kashmir, it feels like a betrayal to many Indians. India's response was multi-pronged, canceling defense deals, limiting business ties, and encouraging its citizens to choose other travel destinations. This wasn't just a government directive. It reflected the public's anger and disappointment. It was a clear message that India wouldn't tolerate external interference or a perceived disregard for the pain caused by terrorism, making the boycott a powerful expression of national sentiment. Now prepare for a surprising twist in our tale. Picture this unlikely alliance: Turkey, a member of NATO, cozying up to China. Why this seemingly contradictory partnership? Well, both nations share a common strategic interest, a counterweight to India's growing influence in Asia. Their burgeoning military, economic, and even ideological alignment presents a hidden challenge for India. It's a strategic understanding that operates beneath the radar, a quiet consolidation of power that could have significant implications for the regional balance. The plot thickens further. Imagine Indian intelligence agencies on high alert, suspecting the presence of Turkey-backed radical preachers and NGOs attempting to sway young Indian Muslims. These individuals and organizations allegedly promote anti-national sentiments, with funding quietly flowing in from Gulf and Turkish donors. It's a shadowy operation aiming to cultivate influence and potentially sow discord within India's diverse population. Think of it as a subtle ideological battle being waged on Indian soil. Finally, let's circle back to Erdogan's grand vision. His ambition to revive the Ottoman Empire's influence isn't limited to the Middle East or Europe. It extends to South Asia as well. Kashmir in this context isn't just about the Kashmiri people. It's a stepping stone in his quest for political dominance in the wider Muslim world. By interfering in Kashmir, Erdogan aims to project power and assert Turkey's leadership on a global scale. It's a strategic maneuver driven by a desire for historical relevance and contemporary influence. So there you have it, History Hunters, the 10 explosive truths about the often hidden complexities of the India-Turkey relationship. It's a story of ancient echoes, modern ambitions, and strategic power plays that continue to shape the geopolitical landscape. Now that you know the real story, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with every Indian and European who deserves to understand the intricate dynamics at play. Remember, in the world of diplomacy, things aren't always as they seem. It's a grand game of chess, and India needs to play its moves wisely. If you found these untold truths, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the History Hunt for more deep dives into fascinating historical and contemporary topics, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for joining me on this hunt, and I'll see you in the next one.